Have you been bullied or think that your life isn't important and that you aren't good enough? I'm Waylon Myers, and I have experienced these issues all my life. This is Standing Strong with Waylon Myers.
Your life
is truly important.
And you're
Not
alone.
You're worth it.
Standing Strong with Waylon Myers gives you the platform and courage to talk about life challenges and let you know it's okay to talk about those things as I interview people around the world, as your life is very important and you are strong. Hello everyone and happy Monday. I'm so excited to bring you all another episode of Standing Strong with Waylon Myers. I am Waylon Myers, and this will be the 26th episode, and my guest is Donerick Rainey. And before we get into his interview, I just want to read an inspirational quote. The best is yet to be. Don't give up. And now, sit back and enjoy Donerick Rainey's episode of Standing Strong. Donerick Rainey is an actor and musician. He is better known from Rolling Thunder, Frontera, and Journey to America. Donerick is also known from acting in the Dhar Mann YouTube series, changing the lives of other people. He got some popular songs following up, Deep Down, We Won't Touch the Ground, Trapped in an Hourglass, and more. This talented man is an amazing person and changing lives the best he possibly can. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy to give you the next guest on Standing Strong with Waylon Myers, Donerick Rainey. What is up, Donerick? How are you doing?
Pretty good. After that big introduction, I hope I live up to it.
Yeah, you are an inspirational person. I love your content you put out every day. I love your acting and Dhar Mann. So keep it up.
Thank you.
You are welcome. At this time, can you share a little bit about yourself to the viewers?
Yes, well, of course, my name is Donerick Rainey. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. People ask me when did I start acting and doing music, and I honestly can't remember. It feels like that's what I've been doing my whole life. Since I was a kid, I went to Howard University and got a degree in theater there, and try to hone my craft and be the best actor I can be. Mm-hmm. And then after college, I went back home to Texas and worked for a few record labels, and we had some songs out, I guess, regionally. And I wanted to step up to a bigger plate, so I moved to Los Angeles. And here I've been doing pretty much the same thing, music and acting. Again, worked for a few record labels as a music producer and an artist. And now I'm putting out the music material on my own and doing some feature-length films and some short films, like you mentioned, with Dhar Mann. So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. The first question that I am going to ask you, were you a victim of bullying? If so, how did you overcome it? And if not, what advice would you give on bullying?
I'll try to approach that from both angles. I When I was a kid growing up, the grade schools that I went to in San Antonio were in neighborhoods where they weren't high income neighborhoods, and so there was a lot of bullying going on. At the time, I didn't see it as necessarily bullying because I believed in myself. I mean, normally these were kids that were bigger and older than me, and that would do little silly things. But it never broke my spirit or anything. I mean, I got teased so much about my name, just being Donerick. You were like, oh, generic Donerick, and all these little weird things they would come up with. But for me, it was character building. And I know for some other people, it's deflating. My advice would be to people who are being bullied on whatever level it is, whether it's fat shaming or the color of their skin or what have you, is to not let that beat you down, because what comes from the outside can't change who you are on the inside unless you let it. I've always decided to take the high road. When people said bad things about me or tried to bully me or whatever, I didn't let it beat me down. Of course, it wasn't something I was happy about. It wasn't something that made me feel good inside. But that, again, was something that was coming from the outside. In order to be happy, you have to make yourself happy. In order to be confident, you have to make yourself confident. Of course, things in our environments can affect that in a positive or negative way. But in the long run, at the end of the day, when you go home at night and you're in your bed by yourself, it's you that you have to deal with. It's you who you have to be confronted with. So for people who are going through negative things like bullying, believe in yourself, be true to yourself, and I think you can overcome that.
Absolutely. I love that. How do you relieve or manage stress?
The way I manage stress is to, again, it goes back to believing in yourself. If there's something stressing you out, then that's something that at that moment you feel like is you're fighting a losing battle, or there's something that's overcoming you. But again, if you pull energy from within yourself and believe in yourself, then you know you can overcome that. There's nothing that's going to be set in your path that you can't overcome. So things that are set in your path as a challenge, not a problem, but just a challenge to overcome, just an obstacle to find a way to move around or jump over, so that you can get to your ultimate goal, whatever that may be. The only thing that stands in your way at the end of the day is yourself. No matter what the odds are, there's so many stories of successful people who've had negativity presented to them. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this have heroes, whether they're doctors or lawyers or presidents or musicians or rappers or actors. Drake is one rapper that's at the top of his game. And, a lot of doors were closed in his face. I'm in the middle of watching a documentary about Kanye West, who's another person who has overcome a lot of obstacles, including almost losing his life in a car accident. Then later, as he was being successful, he lost his mother. But he's been able to overcome that. Now he's battling losing his family. But the man is still believing in himself as an artist. He just released a new record, The Donda 2, which made 1.4 million in 12 hours. Wow. And this is a man who had doors closed in his face, people who didn't believe in him as an artist, only a music producer, yet he thrived because he believed in himself. I think believing in yourself, is as cliche as that may sound, is the key to overcoming anything. You can, I mean, of course, we all have limits. I could never be a 7 foot tall basketball player. That just is not in the cards for me. But I could be a 5'9" basketball player. There's basketball players that are great that are shorter than 5'9" and who've accomplished being in the NBA and playing pro basketball. So if there's things that you think don't allow you to be able to do what you can do, maybe you don't think you sing well enough. Well, there's ways around that as well. You know, you find your pocket. I know a lot of people say get in your lane and make things happen, make your dreams come true. Nobody's going to do it for you. Of course, you need a team of people behind you, but inevitably it's you who has to make things happen. You know, a lot of us want, and including myself, have wanted other people to build me up to where I'm trying to go. But when I look upon it, it's me who has to be there. You know, no matter how many people you have around you, no matter how many people support you, if you don't show up, it's not going to happen for you anyway. So the center, the nucleus of what you're trying to do is yourself. So just believing in yourself, meditating on what you or focusing on where you want to go, you can get there. You just have to make sure you put that effort into it and you'll get there.
Absolutely. I love that. What hardships did you experience in your life, and what were some ways you overcame them?
Some of those things I'm still trying to overcome. I mean, in my life, as far as my entertainment career, I've always, it seems like I've always gotten to a point where I'm right at the door with my hand on the doorknob, and right when it's about to open, something happens to detour where my goal is or where I'm headed. And the way that I get over that is to continue to do what I do, with the talents that I'm blessed with. You hear a lot of successful people say, just keep doing what you love. Just don't stop. If you want to open a restaurant, just keep at it. Just keep adding those things together. You hear about paying dues. And then sometimes you may feel like I've paid all the dues I can pay. Where is my end result? Don't give up. I've also seen people give up. I've seen famous groups, or at least groups with hit songs, who have, say, 5 members. And then one of those members decides, this is not going to happen for us. I'm going to drop out of the group. I'm done with this. This is not for me. Maybe a month or so later, maybe a year later, the group all of a sudden blows up. If that person had just stuck in and stuck with it and believed in what they were doing, they would have been a part of that success. So I think to be successful, you have to educate yourself in whatever business it is that you're doing, whether you want to own a food truck or open a grocery store or whatever your business may be a lawyer. You have to continuously put yourself into it, continuously try to better yourself and get better at your craft or your business or whatever it is that you're focused on. And it will eventually come to fruition. It's no way that it won't. Maybe it won't be on the level that you want it to be. There are people who look for fame. I don't think that's the reason why you should be doing anything that you do. You should do it because you love it. But there are people who look to be famous and they think that famous means they have 300 million followers on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. But maybe you have 10,000. And those people are dedicated fans, and everything you do, they'll be there for you. Well, you're famous to those 10,000 people. You know, the mainstream may have never heard of you, but your fan base, you're famous to them. If they see you, they're going to pass out just as if you were Michael Jackson or Justin Bieber or whoever it is. Their hearts are going to flow to you. Their energy is going to be there for you. They're going to support you. So just, again, fit in where you are and accept that and use that as the energy to propel you to continue to do better and keep providing whatever it is that you need for yourself to move forward in life.
Awesome.
I hope I answered your question.
Yep. I love it. What or your favorite music artist that helps you unwind?
Unwind?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I never, I don't know if I'm the kind of person that unwinds. I'm always wound up.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I probably only unwind when I finally go to sleep. But I'm always. I'm trying to think if there was. This is probably the worst thing to say. Sometimes when I want to go unwind, I guess at the end of the day and get some rest. Because my favorite artist would probably pump me up and get me, I don't know, wanting to go make some more music or something. I sometimes turn on certain TV shows or even reality shows, I hate to say. I don't really spend a lot of time watching reality shows, but sometimes
Yeah.
I put them on to go to sleep too.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if that's something from when I was a kid. I fell asleep in front of the TV so much that that's just something I'm used to. I know it's not good, and I'm not encouraging anyone to do that. But I mean, just to answer your question about myself, I think I probably unwind to TV shows that I don't really care about.
Uh-huh.
Because TV shows that I care about, I normally look at them specific, or movies. I normally look at them specifically to learn something. About writing or cinematography or costuming or color grading or plot or watching different actors, different choices and the choices they make to develop characters and how they build upon that. And so if I'm listening to an artist or watching something that if I'm enjoying a piece, if I'm putting on a piece of work, whether it be music or television or a movie, it's I'm going to be paying so much attention to it that I won't be able to wind down. So I'd have to put on something I'm not interested in,
Yeah.
believe it or not. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite inspirational quote that sticks to you to never give up?
I think I mentioned before, when I watch documentaries or anything of people that I respect their success, whether I'm a fan or not, there are people I'm not a fan of, but I respect their hustle. I respect their dedication. I respect their success, of course. Um, um, Pretty much all of them say, don't give up. Just continue to do what you're passionate about, whatever that may be. Just continue to do it. And at some point it's going to give. If you keep dripping water on metal, if it continues to drip and drip and drip, over a period of time, that metal's going to give. As strong as it may be, it's going to give. So if you keep putting your energy into whatever it is that you're passionate about, at some point it's going to give. And like I said, it may not be the biggest feat. I mean, I'm successful on some levels. I've done things that other producers, songwriters, singers, and actors want to do. They want to have a movie on Netflix that they did music for. They want to have a movie on Amazon Prime that they've acted in.
Mm-hmm.
Or they want to be in Dhar Mann. I mean, there are plenty of people coming to me, how can I be on Dhar Mann? How did you
Yeah.
get on Dhar Mann? So, I mean, to that extent, I have some levels of success. I'm not famous. I mean, I do have a fan base that respects me and looks up to me. Like I said before, I may have 200 fans, but to them, I'm famous.
Mm-hmm.
To them, I'm important. To them, I'm inspiring. So, if there's any quote that I think works, maybe two, but definitely never give up is one,
Mm-hmm.
because it's something has to give. And I believe another one would be, I had it in my head, now I'll let it go. Another one would be, maybe it'll come back to me, because I think that one is important as well. I'm sorry that it's so many things going through my head. I'm trying to make sure that I can say something that inspires somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, speaking of you being an actor and a musician, how have your experience affected your life long term, good or bad? Did those experiences change your goals or change the direction of your career?
No. I mean, I've always either acted or did music to some extent, whether I was getting paid for it or for free. Of course, if you want a career in entertainment, you want to at least have some kind of financial success so you can take care of yourself. But of course, I've had to work side jobs while I look forward to my career being able to take care of me. But nothing has changed my path. I mean, when I was in college, I thought I'm going to Howard University. Other, successful actors and musicians and producers and people who do what I do have gone through this university. So I'm going here. As soon as I get out, boom, I'm gonna hit the top. And of course, that didn't happen. But so, I mean, that thought process changed. And but my approach, my ideas that I've had since before, I finished grade school have pretty much not changed. I'm still pretty much that same Donerick Rainey that I was before going to college, before going to high school, before going to middle school. I remember I did in third grade, my elementary school did a like production where there was all these different acts. I happened to be in one of the acts that we did this. It was like a talent show. That's what I'm trying to say. And we did this like Coca-Cola musical thing. And I guess my mother saw it in my being that night. And when we got in the car and we were leaving, it was interesting because the school that we had it at was my future high school. I ended up going to high school there. But she asked me, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? And I said, this, meaning entertainment. And she said, well, only 1 in a million make it at that. And I remember thinking, I really literally remember in third grade, I must have been 8 years old, thinking, well, here's your 1 in a million, your son, So I haven't changed. I mean, since I've been doing this, technology has changed, the approach. I remember when I was in grade school and even college, to put records out, you had to have a record deal. Now I've put out 7 singles and lining up more for 2022. And I don't have a record deal. I don't have a team. I don't have anybody but myself putting these songs out. And, to some extent, they're successful. People give me good feedback on them. People like them. They're being played on different playlists at restaurants and stuff. So people get to hear them. So for me, good or bad, nothing has changed. I've learned things about myself. I've learned things about the business. But as far as my ultimate goal, nothing has changed or deterred it. I am still moving forward in the same direction that I've always wanted to go in towards my goal. Now, I haven't had the best. I would also, I guess, as a side note, saying, whatever it is you want to do, make sure you have a mentor and you hold on to them. Make sure you get a good mentor and hold on to them. Because that's one thing I failed at, is getting good mentors and holding on. I've probably come across some, but to get one that I could hold on to and make sure that they see me get from where they meet me to my ultimate goal, I haven't done that. And so that's one thing I hope to eventually accomplish, especially this year, which I should, because that's one of my focuses. I think I was, I kind of let ego get in the way and thought, okay, I have all these talents. Everybody can see it. And so it's just going to fall in my lap. And that's not the case. You need to have positive people around you who see your goal and see what you have to offer and help you build upon that and guide you in the right direction.
Awesome. I love that. Speaking of music, one, which of your songs that you wrote was your favorite one doing, and why?
People ask me that a lot, and I believe it's like asking someone, well, let's just say I have those 7 songs that I've released in the past year and a half or so. It's like asking someone, out of your 7 kids, which one is your favorite? But to try to answer your question, sir, I would say, and I consider it my first song because it's the first song that I've been able to release on my own to the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've done songs for, like I said, for Universal Pictures, Blumhouse Pictures, Crypt TV. I've done music for BET. I've worked with some legendary artists and everything. I've been with groups, and we've put out songs. So I've been having songs released, not just as a solo artist, for a long time. But as far as my solo project goes, I would have to say the very first song that I did, because it was exciting for me. I spent a lot of time making sure that I put my best foot forward on my first single. And not to say that I don't do that with the others, but this was my first baby, so to speak. So my first child, in a sense. So I would say that one, just to see it go from an idea to actually being out there in the world. It's the only one I've shot a music video for so far. We shot it on an iPhone 11. And it came out pretty cool. I mean, we're not professionals, but we did it on our own, just 2 of us, put that video together, and I edited it. So I think because I spent so much time with that song as opposed to some of the others, I would have to say the first single I released as a solo artist to the world, If.
Awesome. Now, speaking of Dhar Mann, you have played in a couple of his videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was your favorite one doing? The one I love is when you was the Sean's Dan, and you and Shantae went out on a date, leaving him home alone with Mel, the babysitter.
Yeah.
What was that like, creating that backstage?
That was my, I think, 5th Dhar Mann. And so, first of all, shout outs to Dhar Mann. Dhar Mann and the Dhar Mann actors and the Dhar Mann fam. It's amazing to me how such a positive energy surrounds that whole the whole world of Dhar Mann. The set is like family. Everybody's amazing and supportive. Everybody's so talented. It's crazy that it could get so many talented people together. Sean is amazing. Mara is amazing. Shantae, I've worked with, I think 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And the directors are amazing. I mean, everything is amazing about it. So that experience was just, it was interesting because when we were shooting it, okay, I read the whole script, and when we were shooting it, I just kept feeling like I tried not to watch the parts that even though I always read the full script so I can understand the world of what I'm getting into. And I think every actor should do that. I know I hear some that say, "Oh, I just read my part," which I don't think that's the way it should be done. But I guess me and Shantae were, in the green room, so to speak, when Sean and Mara were doing their scenes, and I could just hear it. I didn't want to see it because I wanted to wait till the full production was put together and I can watch it at home with my surround sound and just enjoy it. And I knew that one was going to get a lot of good feedback. And I remember reading the feedback on different Instagram accounts where people really liked that one. if they really like that one, that's probably one of the ones I actually got recognized for, walking down the street with a hat and sunglasses and a mask on, and people were like, "Dhar Mann," and I'm like, "Who? Where?" And they're like, "You're the dad," and I'm like, "Wow, you've recognized me from that." But I guess so many people saw it. I guess that was bound to happen. So it's interesting you brought that up with the question, which one was my favorite? That was my favorite because I just felt the energy on set. I could feel it, and I like, this one is gonna be hilarious because up to that point, the ones that I had done had been pretty dramatic, but this one was dramatic, a little melodramatic, but it was comical, and it was, even when I read it, I was like, how is this gonna turn out? And so that one was definitely my most exciting one. It's one of I think the only ones that they did the Dhar Mann BTS behind the scenes with me, and me and Sean got to have some fun with each other on that. So that definitely was probably the highlight of my Dhar Mann career so far.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
what's
was one.
the evil babysitter? Yeah.
Yep, the evil babysitter. Yeah, that
Yeah, I
was
really
my
like that.
favorite one. Are you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but are you gonna be in any upcoming feature Dhar Mann films?
We have to see. I mean, the powers that be at Dhar Mann, if they so feel that I fit a character in one of their features, I'm sure they'll give me the call and ask me, am I available? And of course, I'm going to say yes, no matter what's going on. Well, I can't say that. There's a few times I had to turn Dhar Mann down because, like, 3 different times, literally, this is the craziest thing. And I've told myself, this is going to happen to you. When you get on that plane, you're going to check your email, you're going to check your messages, or there's going to be a phone call. It's going to be Dhar Mann saying, "Hey, are you available tomorrow to shoot, another short film?" And 3 times that happened to me. I was on the plane going to Texas, and Dhar Mann called me. I think one time I was on the plane going to Texas at each of those times. And I wasn't available, which really hurt me because I love doing the Dhar Mann films.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, I'm sure in the future there'll be some more Donerick Rainey and Dhar Mann things happening.
awesome. Are you excited that the videos are now longer than they used to be?
I am. I think Colin said in one of the behind the scenes clips that I saw, I believe on YouTube or Instagram, he was saying as well, I think Shantae too, that we'll have, when they get longer, we'll have more to bite our teeth into, and more character development, and challenge ourselves as actors, which is something I'm definitely excited about. So I'm waiting on Dhar Mann to hit me up and get me back on set to work out those challenges.
Yeah, I would love to see more videos of you because you
Thank
are
you.
an inspirational person in the Dhar Mann YouTube series.
Thank you so
You
much.
are very welcome. Before we wrap up this interview, what advice would you give someone out there who feels like they are not good enough to accomplish anything that they set their minds to? What advice would you give?
So people who feel that way, it has to be for a number of reasons. Either they didn't get the love they thought they should get, either from their parents or from their friends or from the environment they grew up in. You have to realize there's a phrase I've heard pretty much all my life. There's always someone for someone, if that makes sense. No matter if you think you're too short, no matter if you think you're too tall. There's some people who don't like being tall, believe it or
Yeah.
not. If you think you're too curvy, too skinny, whatever the case may be, there's someone for everyone. And I don't just mean as a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner. I mean friend wise as well. I mean, I've seen some of the oddest friends. I would never think this person would befriend this person type situations, like from maybe, I don't know, to keep it stereotypical, the class nerd and the class athlete. I've seen those two become best friends in my lifetime. And I've been in, of course, been through grade school, college. I've even taught middle school and high school in my life, and I've seen these things happen. My point is, there's always something for you. You do have, everyone has something to offer. Everyone is special in their own way. You're special, you know that, right? So everyone's special in their own way, and just the biggest thing I believe is you can hear it from other people. I've met some of the most beautiful people I've ever seen, and you tell them, wow, you're beautiful, and they go, no, you really think so? And they're not even saying that so you can build them up more. They actually don't feel that they are. You know, depending on what their environment is or where they come from and what the ideals are of the people around them. Everyone is special. Everyone has something to offer. And then sometimes you have to know it's maybe not what you thought it was. I'm still on my journey. Maybe it's not music and acting and entertainment for me. Maybe it's something else. Maybe I'm supposed to be a politician, and maybe that's my end goal, and I just don't see it yet. But if you keep living life with passion and belief and love and positivity, and don't let the negative things get you down, I always believe in taking the high road. And I'm human, so there are times I see things and I don't take the high road. But then I have to go back and look at myself and say, man, you didn't handle that right. You know, I think the more positive energy you produce within yourself, it exudes from you, and you attract positive energy, the laws of attraction, you know. And you have to change. Sometimes you just have to change what you thought life was for you. And you have to manifest what you want your life to be. And we have the power to do that on this planet as humans on this earth. And the earth gives you that, you know, the universe gives you that to manifest what it is that you see yourself as and what you want to be. And the world will start to see that, and it will start to happen.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you with that. Anyways, Dominic, I thank you so much for being the 26th guest on Standing Strong with Waylon Myers. Remember to always be real, honest, and inspiring. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
You as well.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for
your
having
time.
me.
You are absolutely welcome.
And I wish you much success as well.
Thank you so much. Before we finish up, would you like to give out where people can find you on social media?
Yes. So I don't know if my name is displayed here on the interview, but you can find me anyway by just using my name, Donerick Rainey, DONERICK RAINEY, from Instagram to IMDb to Spotify, iTunes, Apple TV. Anywhere you want to find me, just put my name in. I'm there. If I'm there, I'm there. My name is the best way to find me.
Awesome. Until next week, everyone, have a good rest of your day.
You just watched Standing Strong with Waylon Myers. Follow and support the show on social media on Facebook, Standing Strong with Waylon Myers, on Twitter, SSW Waylon Myers, on Instagram, Standing Strong with Waylon Myers, and on TikTok, SSW Waylon Myers. And for everything Standing Strong with Waylon Myers, visit the official website at www.waylonmyers.com. Until next week, everyone, thank you for watching.